Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and another video. Today I'll be doing a Valentine slash birthday full set. So I already went ahead and prepped the nail and measured my tips. So what I usually do is I measure the tips and I place the tips to the side, and I go ahead and I glue the tips down. When I'm gluing my tips, I make sure I glue them all the way at the free edge of the tip, because I want to leave as much nail bed as possible to apply the acrylic on. When I have more nail bed to apply the acrylic on, the retention is way better. And also you want to make sure you glue your tips straight. That way usually if the tips are crooked, it's going to be harder to get the shape back in the end. So try to glue your tips as straight as possible in the beginning. What I usually do is I follow my client's knuckle. So I don't usually pay attention to the direction in which the nail is going in. I glue the tips straight towards me. I'm not sure if some clients like when you follow their nail bed, but as for me, I glue the tips straight. It doesn't matter what direction the nail is going. I make sure the tips they're coming straight in my direction. And I usually use the knuckles as a guide, like I said before. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut my client's nail according to the length that she wants. Well, the nail tips according to the length that she wants. Usually I cut like one nail, then I let my client look, decide if that length works. If not, I'm gonna come back in and cut some more. Like she said, it was a little bit too long. If you have a tip cutter with the magnet and that works better for you, please go ahead and use it. But as for me, I already practiced with my scissors and it works best for me. So that's what I do. But you know, you have like an easier way to do it. You set the number on that little magnet thing on the tip cutter, and then you get all the nails the same length. So you could go ahead and invest in one of those. But like I said before, I'm already used to cutting with the scissors way before I even know about that measuring thing that comes with the tip cutter. So I usually get the length right and on everything on the same length with my scissors. So back to the video, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure both hands are the same length before I start applying my acrylics. These tips are actually Coffin tips that I usually use if I'm doing tapered square nails, because I find it easier to shape, or I don't even have to shape at all when I use the Coffin tips. If the nails are going to be a bit longer, you know you cannot use the Coffin tips because it's gonna start narrow in at a certain point. So for me, once it's like short or medium or just above medium, like in the video, I just go ahead and use Coffin tips, especially if I'm doing tapered square. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to apply my primer, making sure I do not oversaturate the nail. You never want to overflood the cuticle because this can also cause lifting. You want to apply just enough. And this primer that I'm using is from Senior Luxe collection, and what I do when I'm priming, I use alcohol first and then I apply my primer. And of course the acrylic is from 876 Nails, and this color is called Roses. So for this design, I'll be going for like a ombre look with the clear at the tip, but this acrylic, I'm going to use it at the base to cover her natural nail, to mimic her natural nail. This way, with the design, the free edge of her nail doesn't show. I did file her nails as short as I could get them, so I just have to use this acrylic color to hide the nail bed. So I'm just gonna come in with my first bead and I apply that just above the cuticle, and then I work my way to the free edge of her natural nail before I start blending. The brush that I'm using is a number 12 brush. I do not like to use a big brush. I'm a number 10, 12, maximum 14. I'm a number 10, 12, or 14. I cannot go over that because I do not see the point of using a bigger brush when I could use a smaller brush. I could pick up bigger beads and I could pick up smaller beads just the same, because people tend to think that it's the size of the brush that's picking up the big bead, when in fact it's all about liquid to powder ratio. If you need a big bead, all you simply need to do is leave more monomer in your brush. So it's not about the size of the brush. You can still pick up a bigger bead with a smaller brush and still having control over your acrylic. You never want to apply your acrylic, especially that cuticle bead. Well, the cuticle bead, you never want to apply your cuticle bead exactly at the cuticles. You want to apply just above the cuticle and then gently tuck it back in the cuticle area, making sure it's not going over on the skin. If it goes on the skin, you want to make sure that you use the tip of your brush and you clean around the nails, the side walls. You want to clean your side walls and your cuticles. This way, when you come in to drill or shape, you do not have all that acrylic in your side walls and on your cuticles that you have to remove. Whenever you're picking up your acrylic, you just want to always make sure that when you dip your brush in your monomer, you're going to swipe towards your client. For example, if you dip your brush in your monomer, the side that's facing you, that's the side that's going to go in the acrylic powder, and then the side that's facing your client, tap to remove the monomer. And that's how everything looks. I'm in love with this ombre vibes. I think she could leave just like this. I'm like, girl, this set is cute as is. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna go over each nail, apply some clear acrylic, and when I'm working my clear acrylic, I'm trying to work with wet beads to avoid bubbles. And you could treat this like an encapsulated nails, where you have an ombre underneath. Even though it's not colored ombre, it's still an ombre and it needs clear to finish building it up, because if you leave it like that, the nail is gonna break easy. And then also when you're drilling, you're going to drill into your ombre. That transition look, you're going to drill into it. And of course this needs more acrylic because it's going to break. So what I do is I place the acrylic just above the cuticles and I just try to blend, building my apex so the nail has its strength. And like I said before, making sure you're working with wet beads. Any type of glitter encapsulation or any type of acrylic work that you wanted to have that glass effect, you want to make sure that you're working with wet bead. That way it doesn't bubble or it doesn't give that like transparent look if the bead is not wet. So you have to make sure you're working with a wet bead. While you're applying your acrylic, you have to make sure that you're cleaning the side walls of the nail. You didn't shape in the beginning to waste time. So in everything you do, you have to make sure you keep wiping like I did just now, keeping the shape of your nail. If you do not do this, you're going to lose the shape of your nail and you're going to spend so much time shaping in the end. Also, when you're applying your acrylic, try to apply as smooth as possible to save time. Even though we're trying to do perfect nails and everything, we have to remember that time matters too. So if you can apply smooth to cut 10 minutes out, that's perfect, because time is money, money is time. The clients, they have places to go, and yeah, it's just so much better if you can focus on the basics when you just start. Like I always tell people, focus on your foundation, focus on applying your acrylic nice and smooth, focus on your shaping. It's best if you can do like a basic full set and you know it's a nice clean full set and you're working on your foundation, other than focusing on designs and then the nail will eventually break, crack, and then it's a high chance that that client will never come back because the retention was not good. Also, when you're applying, make sure you're looking at the nail from the side as well. That side view is everything. That side view, you can look and then you're going to see where you need to apply more acrylic, because sometimes from looking at it straight, you can't really see the structure. But if you set the finger off to the side and just look at it from the side, you can see the foundation of the nail and where you need to apply more acrylic. That's the final results, and now it's time for shaping. I'm going to use my 100 grit hand file. I do not like to use 80 grit. I see a lot of nail techs, they use 80, but 80 is so aggressive, and I just feel like it doesn't get the job done as good as the 100 grit. I do not know. Let me know in the comment section if that's just me. What grit file do you prefer to use? I'm the 100 girl, period. And I tried the 80. I tried to like it. It's not working out. So whenever you're shaping, guys, make sure you apply pressure. I watched some of you guys shaping and it's giving you got nowhere to go. Shape, apply some pressure to the nail, like it's not gonna break. Just make sure you see how my thumb is on top of the nail. Just make sure you have that supporting, like under and then your thumb on top, just so the nail does not rock right back and forth. And then you also want to make sure you get underneath as well, because sometimes you have acrylics that go underneath the nail and that can mess up your shaping, and then your clients can also pick at that. So try to get underneath like how I'm doing right now. Whenever I'm drilling, I start from one side, the cuticles, and then I make my way to the opposite side. You want to always make sure that you keep yourself on a routine. Do not, like, for example, when I start drilling in one direction, and I do this for every client unless it's something different on one set that I'm doing that I have to do something else. But if you put yourself on a routine, like from prep to application to shaping to drilling, even something as simple as making sure you always start from the pinky finger. That's a routine. Don't start from the pinky today and then tomorrow you start from the middle finger, then the next day you start from the thumb. Always make sure you start from the same finger. It's like muscle memory. You're trying to build up muscle memory, and that way you're going to be able to go much faster. So like I said, you want to make sure you get in those sidewalls, get in those cuticles, because you have to seal your nails. If you do not seal your nails, you're going to have lifting. So you want to make sure you get in the sidewalls and get around your cuticles, and also, as you know, over the surface of the nail. Do you see how I'm looking at the nail from the side? You want to also make sure that when you drill, you look at your nail from the side, see where you have any bumps, any lumps, any dips that you need to smooth out. The bit that I'm using is a medium panel drill bit. I got this bit off Amazon. I have it in the coarse as well. The coarse one I use for soak offs, and this one I use for the acrylic like right now when I'm drilling the acrylic. So I have one coarse for soak offs, and then I use the medium one for this part of the nail. And also when you're drilling over the surface of the nail, hold the bit flat. Like look at the video, you have to hold the bit flat, that way the bit connects to the acrylic, and this way it's gonna debulk the acrylic even better for you, make it smoother. So you want to make sure you're holding the bit flat. And also when you're going around the cuticles and your sidewalls, you can also use the opposite hand to pull your client's skin, that way the bit has more space to get in those side walls. And when you're drilling as well, you want to make sure you keep the bit moving, that way it doesn't start burning. So when your client nail starts to burn, it's obvious because you have the drill bit in one place for too long, so it starts to heat up. So keep that bit moving. When I'm finished with my drill work, I always like to come back with my hand file and give my shaping one last touch just to bring everything back in together. So guys, let's backtrack. When I got done applying the acrylic, guess what? I noticed that I did not encapsulate the hearts. This girl had the picture she showed me, it had the hearts encapsulated. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how I'm gonna tell this girl that I did not encapsulate the heart? So I did end up telling her, and then I'm like, I'm gonna come up with a solution for it. So what I did was I finished doing everything, and then I applied a very thin layer of clear acrylic, and then I put the hearts on. Then I come back again and I add a very thin layer of clear acrylic over the hearts. So basically when this is done and I add the last layer of clear acrylic, you want to also make sure that you're not doing this thick, because remember now, I'm already done applying and drilling and doing all that. So I'm not trying to give myself all that extra work to come back in. And what I could have also done is I could have debulked those two nails and added the hearts in, but I could also do it like this. So I'm like, I'm gonna just go ahead and apply like a thin layer of acrylic at the bottom, set the heart down, and then apply another thin layer over the heart like I'm doing right now. So basically what I did after this, I just buffed it, and then that worked out perfect. And she was even happy with it. She was like, oh, maybe this worked out for the best, because I was already thinking, how am I gonna work around these glitter and hearts for my next sets? So it worked out perfect. So on this nail, I'm just gonna draw like a XO. So this nail art brush, I really love it. I'm gonna try to leave it in the link below. I think it's from, what's the name? I cannot remember the name, but it's from something another line. I'm gonna leave it in the description box below. But basically what we did is we put an XO on this finger, and then on the other fingers we just did cute Valentine's hearts and stuff like that. So when I'm doing nail art, I try to use the tip of my brush for smaller lines, because when you use the body of the brush, the line starts to get thicker. So that's what I noticed from doing nail art. The more you stay at the tip, the more detailed the line is gonna be. And if you want extremely thin lines, you have to use the tip of the brush. This glitter is from Valentino as well. They have a wide selection on their website, and I really love these chunky glitters that they have. So I have these in silver, black. I think I have like 2 shades of pink, and of course I have it in gold. On the middle finger, I'm going to do a heart at the tip of the nail, and I'm going to do this in silver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 lines. Since the heart is bigger, usually I use my dotting tool and make 2 small dots, but I mostly do that also if I'm going to shade the heart in. But if I'm not going to shade the heart, I usually do it like this, make 2 small lines, and then I just curve it in like you see I'm doing on the video. So that's what I put at the tip of that nail. And then on this nail, I'm going to do the same thing with the heart, but this heart is going to be like 3 different colors you're going to see. But I made the 2 small lines again, and then I bring it around and to the tip of the nail. When I'm doing this, I'm trying to make sure that the tip of the heart is going to be in the center of the nail, because you don't want to make this crooked. So that's the hardest part, trying to keep that heart in the center of the nail. Whereas I'm going to be coming in with 2 different colors bordering the heart. So I want to leave space for that, and I want to make sure that it's going to be even. So now I'm doing the pink. I'm going to border the red with the pink. I think this design was super cute. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Like, why you didn't subscribe as yet? Subscribe right now, because I'm gonna be posting videos so much. I invested in a camera as well, guys. I got a camera for my birthday, and I'm trying to set it up. So far it's good for vlogging, but as for recording nails, I'm not sure how I'm gonna work that out. I'm sure you guys maybe saw the DJI, is it DJI or DJ1? But that vlogging camera, but like I'm saying, it is really good, and I'm trying to get it to start recording nails with. So let's see how I'm gonna be able to work that out, because it's so small, so it cannot hold in the phone holders that I have as well. So I'm gonna probably have to find like a stick that I could screw it in, because the bottom of the camera, it has the screw thing that I could screw the camera into something, into a stick or a holder. So I bought a holder, so let's see. So that's why I have to start, because I'm like, it's been so long. I really wanted to start posting in January. It's the end of the month, and this camera, I still can't figure out how I'm going to get it to work with recording nail videos. So I just decided to use my phone and do it, even though I know you guys maybe probably noticed that the camera was shaking a little bit, but I did my best. I just wanted to start putting out content, and the goal is to put one nail video a week, and then a vlog, like a weekly vlog. So that's the goal. One nail video and a weekly vlog every week. Hold me to that. If you don't see me posting, you have all rights to come for me, okay? So on this finger, I'm just going to do XO in red, and then I'm going to add some glitter to it. So if you want to do any type of glitter throw design, what you want to do is you want to draw your design on top of the top coat, the cured top coat, and then you're going to draw on top of that. So this nail already has the matte top coat on top of it. Then I draw the XO and then do not cure the XO, and then I add the glitter to it. So this is the final results, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye. Big up on yourself.